Well, good evening, everybody. Captain Namco here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it's a little bit different live stream compared to my usual, because I'm not going to be home until tomorrow night, so I obviously cannot play the Super Mini until I get home. Now, with that being set aside, that's not what the video is about. I will be bowling in the 2024 city tournaments here in Effingham, Illinois, with my dad. I will be bowling the single and double tournaments. So, which means I'm going to try to do my best. Any mistake made, just shake it off and move on. So, I mean, you got several games you got bowl straight. So, how that's going to work? We'd obviously have to bowl 6 games straight and be able to do that. My dad is also bowling in the team tournament. So there's that. And we'll then have to, after, I don't know when the team tournament is, so I'll be watching that. So how my bowling schedule is going to work. Friday, February 9th is my scheduled night to bowl. So I'll be bowling that night in the regular league. Now, then on the following weekend, I will then be bowling the city tournaments on the 17th. So, how that's going to work, the prices will be a little bit higher than in the bowling, the actual league itself. Normally, where I bowl at, where I'm from, bowling prices for a league is $15 a night. Well, per week, I should say. $15 per week each night that you bowl. So then bowling on tournaments, just like bowling league, but only a few things are different. Obviously, the same rules would apply in the tournament as it would in league bowling. So let's run that by. I have been asked if a pin lays in the gutter and touches another pin, does it count? Yes, it does. It still counts as long as that rake does not touch the other pin. Now, if it falls over before the rake starts to pull back, it's still a spare. Obviously, like I said, if the rake touches it, it would be an open frame more than likely. If a ball jumps out of the gutter, hits a pin, it is an automatic open frame. So, there's that. If the machine touches the top of a pin as it's falling over, when the machine touches the top of that pin, the pin will, and it knocks it over, then the pin will have to be respotted by USBC rules. So that's how it will be ran. Obviously, you have to have more than a certain amount of games to be eligible in order to bowl your city tournaments in your area. By USBC rules, you have to have no less than 21 games, no less than 20 or 21 games. That's the minimum. You have to have at least 20 plus games in before the city tournaments even roll around. If you have anything less than that, you are not eligible for the tournament. So keep that in mind. Obviously, with tournaments coming up, open bowling schedules will be affected. And the open bowling schedule will not be available until after 5 o'clock during the tournaments. It depends on how long the tournaments run. Now they will run in a shift. There's 2 different shifts that they will run. The city tournaments here in Effingham will be on February 17th and 18th, and then there's another tournament coming up toward the later part of the month on the 24th and 25th of this month. So there's tournaments there. Obviously, the men's tournament would be held differently compared to the women's tournament. So they might do the women's first and then the men. But here they do it obviously men first. I think is how they do it. This is my first year bowling tournament, so I'm really not overly familiar with it. Obviously, the more that I bowl in the tournaments, the more experience that I have doing bowling in the tournament, and the better off I'm going to be. Now, the many years that I have been bowling, I have never bowled in a tournament ever. So obviously, this is a new ball game for me. So we shall see how it goes. I mean, I do plan on bowling next year as well, and maybe even bowling the tournaments again, and vice versa. So again, my bowling schedule, I will have to bowl on February 9th, which is on a Friday, and then that following Saturday we bowl. So now the tournaments run all weekend, and each day they run a they'll have a split shift on every day that the tournaments run. So that's what we got going on. I'm hoping I can do good in tournaments, but there will be no videos coming out on that. They obviously will not allow that. You're lucky I'm able to bowl league when I can, and that obviously that's where we're standing at, and kind of what we got going on. Obviously, we'll have more restart videos coming up, and I'm going to try to shoot another one from the bowling alley in Vandalia. So we'll see what happens. That's going to be a game changer as well. And I'm hoping that as time goes on, I'll get better. Again, this is my first year bowling league. Actually, first time in over 10 years bowling in league session. Um, last time I bowled was the 2012-2013 bowling season. So that's quite a long ways. But, it's great to be back, obviously. But, the more that you mess with it, obviously, the better you'll get. I'm hoping to get my average back up. I mean, this year was a very rusty year for me. So, I mean, if I can get my average right at 160 by the end of the season, that's going to be my ultimate goal. Now, we got approximately 11 weeks left of bowling season. So ultimately, that means I have 11 weeks to make up a lot of ground and not mess up, which means I have to bowl anywhere from a $153 or 153 or higher in order to keep my average where it's at. Or if I shoot 153 all game, my average may drop. But in order for your average to go up, you have to have a series over a certain amount of what they show you have to score to raise it by one pin. Now, if you go anything over that, obviously it would go up by one or two pins later in the season. Early on, it is much easier to actually raise your average versus what it is right now as you get later on in the bowling season. So, hello, Kayla. So that's kind of where we are standing at right now. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of stuff going on as the bowling season winds down. Like I said, the more that the more you figure out, and you better do it now because, like I said, the season is running down. But 11 weeks to go. That's plenty of time to get my average back close to where I had it at. 10 years ago. But, you know, I have been having bowling ball issues. Very middle part of the season, my other ball, the Roto Grip Hyped Hybrid, cracked from my ring finger all the way around the ball. It just, I don't know. Just the way it, the way it, but the way that ball cracked, that ball is definitely done. But luckily, that ball was warranted, and I was able to get that ball replaced. And thankfully, I didn't have to wait too long. I did have to use my dad's bowling equipment for like a few weeks, and that's ultimately what killed me from raising my average up more than what it is right now. So I personally believe it, but I did have to do what I had to do in order to keep myself in the game. So obviously I had to do what I had to do in that matter. Otherwise, bowling season's going fairly decent for the most part. I mean, just, you know, it'll take time to get back up where I was. So hopefully we'll do something, make something of it this upcoming bowling, this last 11 weeks. Hopefully I'll make something of the tournament and do good. And vice versa. So I'll keep you guys up to date and have a great night. And always thanks. And as always, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this quick little bowling update video. Stay tuned for a live stream tomorrow night where I'll be playing my super mini claw machine, like I do every week, every week I do, should say. So there's that. All right, we're going to go ahead and end it here. Stay tuned for restock videos coming up throughout the week. I think I'm going to try to shoot one on Wednesday. And maybe another bowling video for sure on Wednesday. But I'm going to take my ball over to the bowling alley in Vandalia, Illinois. I have not been there in a while, so we'll just see how well this ball I have handles. Again, I do not have that Roto Grip Hyped Hybrid. I do have a 900 Global Boost bowling ball. Now it's about the same surface as my Roto Grip Hyped Hybrid. Not a very overly aggressive bowling ball by any means. So that's kind of where we sit. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, the rest of your weekend, heading into your work week. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Captain Namco, saying thanks for watching. And in the meantime, before I go, I just want to remind you guys that Jesus loves you. Have a wonderful night.